Well. Welcome back to Hog Out. We've got a live video going on now. We're going to do that while England are playing Australia, as well as India playing Bangladesh. We've also got Sri Lanka taking on New Zealand. Plenty of cricket going around the globe. But India are just starting a campaign of 10 test matches in 15 weeks. Two in Bangladesh, or two against Bangladesh, two against New Zealand, should I say three against New Zealand, and then five against the Aussies down here. They're starting the campaign against Bangladesh, and that's what we're going to concentrate on right now, as well as a little story about Adam Zampa as he plays his 100th one day international game tonight. So let's roll bumper and get into the show. Well, good evening, and we're talking about India taking on Bangladesh. Actually, it's good morning over there in the subcontinent. Just before we talk about India and Bangladesh, I just want to congratulate Adam Zampa, the right-handed leg spinner for Australia, playing his one-day international 100th game today. That is a huge feat. The one thing that I love about Adam Zampa is his competitiveness. He's got great skill, but he's got limited variations and he knows that, but he's always a competitor. I remember when he first came on the scene, it was in the Big Bash here in Australia. He was playing against he was playing against Chris Gale, and it was out Sydney, short boundary straight. Chris Gale hit him for two sixes in a row. That was early on in the over, but the way he fought back in that over, I just knew there was something special about this kid. Now, yes, you might not have the best skills going around in the globe, but if you understand your limitations, understand the opposition batsman, you'll be able to compete if you've got a good heart and resilience. And that's what Adam Zampa has got. And I just love the way that he's gone about his business, and he deserves that 100 milestone in one day international cricket. And he's got a lot to offer as well, a lot more to offer. I reckon he's going to have another World Cup under his belt before he finishes his career. Rightio, let's get on to who is it playing today in a test match? India versus Bangladesh. There we go. Bangladesh, they're coming off a good series against Pakistan. They were able to win two test matches there. Pakistan were a debacle. They had no competitiveness against the might of Bangladesh. So they're coming to India in a two match test series with a lot of confidence. Das, he's got 100 under his belt. Mustafiqa Fiza Rahim behind the stumps. He's also got 100 under his belt. Watch out, India. It could be game on here in Chennai. Now, let's quickly go through the squads. We've got India coming up first. I think there'll be one change here with Park coming back into the squad. Jural will be out of the 11. I won't go through the squad because everyone knows it, but I think the starting 11 for India today will be Sharma, Jaswell, Gill, Kohli, Jadeja, Sarfraz, Pant and Jadeja might swap around there, just have that left-handed batting combination in between Sarfraz. And then you've got Patel or Kuldeep. I'd go with Patel, extra batting depth, and he's also got a good strike rate in Indian conditions. Ashwin, Boomer, and I would actually go for Yash Dayal in this particular fixture because there's a lot of talk about rotating the fast bowlers. So if you're going to play Boomer first, you go with the youngster Yash Dayal, give him an opportunity when he's got the big wig next to him or the big bowler next to him and see if he's up to it to be able to join the squad to come down to Australia later on in the year. You've got to give him the opportunity when you've got that strength there. The next test match, you'll rotate Boomer with Siraj and you'll play Akash Deep there, a player that's got one test match under his belt there. That's how I'd go about it. If you think I've got it wrong, put your comments downstairs. But Jural, yes, he's had a good start to his career, had a good series against England. But when you've got someone like Pant, who can average 70 against spin at a strike rate of over 100, but also do the same against pace, you need someone there that can turn the match on his own bat. Now let's go over to Bangladesh. I quite like this team. The only issue that I have with them is, are they going to play 3 quicks like they did in Pakistan, and 2 spinners, or are they going to have the risk of playing Tajul Islam, the left arm off spinner, along with Shakib and Mahidi? That will be a very interesting scenario. But I think their starting 11 will be very similar to what they had in Pakistan. Shubman Islam, Shakib Al Hasan, both of them left-handed batters. I like the way that they go about their business. Then Shanto, Mominul Haq. Now Mominul Haq has to lift. He can't let things slip. He's had a good career, a long career, and he should start showing that maturity and be able to help Mushfiqur Rahim as well as Shakib Al Hasan. Linton Das, he's a fine player, still got plenty to offer over the next couple of years. Mahidi, Tuscan Ahmed or Sharaful Islam, do they want to go for the left-hander or right-hander there? And I would go Nahid Rand. He's got a little bit of extra height over Hased Mahmood, and I would have Tanjul Islam in there with the left arm off spin. Bangladesh fans, get your thoughts downstairs. Would you play 3 spinners and 2 quicks, or would you go 3 quicks and 2 spinners over here in Chennai? For me, on Chennai, where you think it's going to turn, you've got to have the extra spinners. Rightio, let's go through a few talking points that my mate AK has got up for us behind the scenes. Who's the first player we're going to talk about? Rishabh Pant. I've already mentioned he's got an average of 70 against spin in Indian conditions, a strike rate of over 100, but he does the same with the bat against seam as well. He's very acrobatic behind the stumps, and I just think he's right for the picking to get back in this test team. It's very hard on Dural, who's had a good start to his career, but you've got to go with a player that can turn the game on its head out the back end. When you've got a quality top 4, as India do with Sharma, Jaswal, Gill and Kohli, who are going to do the bulk of the batting, you'll want that explosiveness in the middle order. And if the explosiveness doesn't come off, all of a sudden you've got Patel and Ashwin, two players that can bat in that lower order a little deep and hang on there and get some extra runs as well. So India have got a very good balanced batting lineup when they've got Rishabh Pant in the lineup. And I think him around Sarfaraz Khan will be absolutely sensational. It will free up Sarfaraz Khan and take a little bit of pressure off him to play his natural game as well. I'm really liking Sarfaraz Khan as well. I just love his energy. I love the way that he's just embraced the international scene. He's right for the picking. He's enjoying it. So I think India have got a good little middle order there. All right, moving on to the next one, please. There, AK. We've got Virat Kohli coming on. Now, this is where Bangladesh can really expose India's middle order. If you look at Virat Kohli since 2020, he averages 30 against spin, and it's even worse against left arm off spin. So for me, I would like to see spin against Virat Kohli very early and put him under pressure. Virat, quality player, has done so much for India, but there is a little weakness there that Bangladesh can expose. If they do that, all of a sudden they can get into that middle order where they're a little bit more attacking, and there'll be more opportunities for wickets to be taken there. So for me, Kohli has to live in this particular Test series, and for the next 10 Test matches that India play in a row. Who have we got up next? AK, can you bring it up? Yes, Boomer. Now, this is one aspect of India and any international team at the present moment, is being able to monitor the workloads of their strike bowlers, their main bowlers. And Jasper Boomer is India's main weapon in all conditions. When there's no bounce, nothing in there for the fast bowlers. He can rip up the pace and also get swing both ways, whether it's conventional and reverse. He's got the best Yorker going around in the business. He's got a great bouncer. He's able to set batsmen up when conditions aren't conducive to fast bowlers. I think he's up there with Hazelwood as one of the best fast bowlers going around. But you want to make sure you monitor his workload. So I'll play him in this first test match, try and put Bangladesh on the back foot, get that win up front, and then bring Siraj in and then use Boomer appropriately, but make sure he is fit for when it's time for India to take on Australia. That will be the biggest series for India, and that's when you want your trump cards there. And hopefully Shami will be down here in Australia alongside him. Who have we got up next again there, please, AK? Linton Das. I just love the way that this player goes about his business. Very conventional player. I think he should have captained Bangladesh a lot more. I'd like him, but I just think he's the quiet leader of this Bangladesh team. He just sits there, does his job. You don't hear too much about him. He just gets into a little bit of rhythm, and away he goes. I think him coming in at number 7 and Mushfiqur Rahim also having a good record in India. I think those two particular players can really set up a chance for Bangladesh to upset India in this test series. So for me, have we got anyone else that we're going to talk about? AK? Oh, Shakib Al Hasan, all-rounder. Batting, bowling, you can't keep him out of the game, and he's the biggest asset that Bangladesh have in the Indian conditions. He and Mahidi, with their options of bowling both spin, you've got the right-hander and left-hander, but also right-handed, left-handed batting options as well, creates a lot of depth in the Bangladesh batting lineup, which they need on this particular tour, but also depth in their bowling attack. When you've got all-rounders that can be your frontline spinners, they are huge assets, and this is where Bangladesh's strength is. And they've got to make sure that they utilise that as well. And we've got one more player that I think we're going to talk about. He's a big tall, quick, Taskin Ahmed. I really like the way that he goes about it. He's got a lot of heart. He has got a little bit of pace on him, but he's also got bounce. But again, like Boomer, Bangladesh have to watch his workloads. You can't overuse him. And to be quite frank, I'd actually play Shariful Islam alongside Taskin Ahmed and then play your 3 spinners, because I think that combination is the right combination for India. You need that mix of left-handed, right-handed bowling, and with the options that they have with spin as well, I think that would be a better balanced attack and also create a little bit of difficulty for this Indian batting lineup. If Bangladesh are going to have a chance to win, they've got to rely on their middle order with their batting, and they've got to rely on Taskin Ahmed and Shariful Islam to do the bulk of the bowling. And then you've got the other Islam, the left arm off spinner, with Shakib and Mahidi to do the off spin. So for me, it's the lower order of Bangladesh and their bowling attack that are going to do the damage against India. If they don't, they're going to get blown out of the water. Now, okay, have we got any questions from anyone coming in? It'd be nice if someone's joined us and asked a question or two. Here we go. Can't believe I've gone live for 20 minutes. Anupama Dev Berman, I wish to be a commentator, anchor. I'm also thinking of starting my own YouTube channel like yours, but my only issue is I don't know how to begin this journey. It'll be great if I could get your suggestions. Well, Anupam, do you love the game of cricket? You want to be an anchor. You want to be seen out there. What is stopping you from getting online right now and start doing what you're doing? The thing is, if you start now, do it, you make mistakes early, then all of a sudden it's a teaching lesson for you, and you improve and you improve and you improve. What's the worst thing that can happen if you don't do it? Or what will happen if you don't do it? What will happen if you do it? So for me, just get started. Go and do it. Nothing can go wrong for you just going out there and becoming a commentator. So you've got to start use this medium of YouTube. Just go out there, get a few talking points. You get 1 follower, 2 followers, 10 followers, 100 followers, and then all of a sudden 1,000 followers. You don't need more than that. A TV broadcaster might come across you one day and see the quality you've got, and then ask you to come and join them. So Anupam, get on YouTube tomorrow and talk about India and Bangladesh, their first day of Test cricket, or the first day of the Test match. That's my piece of advice for you, Anupam. And I want you to come on next time that I'm live and tell me whether you've started your YouTube channel or not. So by the end of the week, I want you to have started your YouTube channel. Just get up there, do it, and you can improve. If you've got any more questions, please, AK Anupam. Again, KL Rahul or Sarfraz Khan, who should you play at number 5? For me, it's got to be Sarfraz Khan. I've got a lot of respect for Rahul, but for me, when you've got a youngster who's done well against England, he's got that energy, he's got a little bit of enthusiasm, he takes on the bowling. He's an exciting talent. He's an entertainer. For me, you've got to have Sarfraz Khan because he scores a lot quicker than Rahul. I think India in that top order, when you've got Kohli and Sharma around there to do the bulk of the batting and try and bat through the innings, I think you've really got to have someone like Sarfraz Khan in there and let him loose, especially with the depth of Indian batting. So for me, that's the way I would go. Okay, have we got another question? Bowak Joshi, Brad Hogg, what are your predictions on this Test match outcome? For me, Bangladesh really like spinning tracks. They do well on it. Sometimes when overseas teams come to Bangladesh, they set it up for these type of conditions. So for me, it's going to be a reasonably even contest, but the experience, the professionalism of India will probably topple Bangladesh. But I think Bangladesh have got a lot of fight. They've got a lot of confidence coming in from the series against Pakistan. And for me, I think they can take India into the early hours of the 5th day. If they've done that, they've had a lot of success against the juggernaut of India. So for me, India will win, but Bangladesh will make them work for it. And that's what I want to see. I want to see Bangladesh fight, and take the Test match to the 5th day. And if they do take the Test match to the 5th day, that is a huge chance that it'll be close and a huge chance that Bangladesh might be able to create an upset. Good question, that, Bhavik. I like that. Omar Razman Nizam, dear Brad, what kind of pitch are we likely to see in Chennai? Spin friendly as it always been traditionally, or something a bit more pace? Regards, Omar Nizam, host Book Cafe podcast. So anyone wanting to see what Omar has got to offer, get on to Book Cafe podcast. And we're going to have a look at that down the track as well. So for me, in Chennai, I think they're going to really produce a spin-friendly wicket. I think you've got to do that. You've got to play to your home conditions. India have been doing that against foreign teams over the last couple of years or last decade. Why not stop now? Just because you've got a team like Bangladesh who prefer these particular conditions, I think the skill and professionalism of India far outweigh anything that Bangladesh can dish up to topple them. So for me, I'd keep the strategy the same, keep it spin friendly, and for me, even if it's spin friendly and Bangladesh, it creates a closer contest and evens up the contest, and I think that's what we want to see here between these two teams, because we want to see a close contest and we want to see cricket having some excitement in Bangladesh and seeing the game grow there as well. So there's a number of reasons for it, but I think India in spin conditions will still be better than Bangladesh. And you look at the spinners for India. You've got Jadeja, Patel, and Ashwin. 91 wickets for Jadeja, 47 wickets for Patel. and 109 wickets for Ashwin over since 2020. And all three bowlers, this is in Indian conditions, all three bowlers have an average of under 20, and they've all got a strike rate of in the mid 40s. Any other spinner that comes to Indian conditions, their strike rate goes up over 50, and their averages above 40. So India have got to back their strength. Good question there, Omar. I like it. I love it. Okay. Atabar Darb. Hi, Brad Hogg. Do you think in future Steve Smith can return to number 4 position and Travis Head might be seen as an opener in tests? Oh, Atabar, this is really, really interesting question. Travis Head doing a wonderful job in the white ball format. He's taking the game away from opposition teams. He's taking the game on. If Travis Head is going to open in Test match cricket alongside Khawaja, I'd like him to play that same explosive game. Will it come off? That will be interesting, especially on the first day of a Test wicket, where there might be a bit of seam or a little bit of wear and tear in days 3, 4, and 5. They're the questions that you've got to ask. But for me, I think Travis Head opening the batting, Steve Smith going back to 4 would be a very good solution to balance up the Australian cricket team, to be more explosive up front, to try and put the opposition on the back foot as quickly as possible. And if Travis Head doesn't come off in the odd innings, you've got Khawaja and Labuschagne to try and negate any advantage that Australia lose with an early wicket falling. And then all of a sudden it adds or creates extra depth in that middle order. You've got Mitch Marsh and Cameron Green to go in that middle order as well, and create that all-round depth. And you've got Carey coming in at 6 or 7 as well. So for me, I think Travis Head should open the batting and try and put the pressure on the opposition and play that aggressive game that he plays with the white ball. For me, that's the way that I'd go about it. I really like your question there, Atavar. I like it. I like that solution. Steve Smith's better at number 4. We've got another question there. Yep, Durajay Gupta. What about Bangladesh pace bowling unit? Well, for me, I quite like the pace bowling. I thought they bowled exceptionally well over in Pakistan, and I think they've chopped and changed their team. They're trying to monitor workloads with their particular bowlers. But for me, on this Indian game, I think they should go in with 2 quicks in Chennai, and I'd go with Taskin Ahmed and Shariful Islam. Just have that left arm, right arm combination. If not, I wouldn't mind seeing Nahid Rand in there. I like his pace. I like his bounce against Pakistan. And Hassan Mahmood, I think they've got some good depth there. But for me, Taskin Ahmed and Shariful Islam have to play in this first Test match. I think they're the 2 better options for Bangladesh against India, especially with the top order there. I think you've got the right armour with trying to cramp the top order with attacking that off stump line, and then you've got the left armour coming across the right-handers with the odd one swinging in. You don't have a better combination than that, and that's probably one thing that if you look at all the best Test playing nations, all the best cricketing teams that you have around the world, they've got that left hand right arm combination. So you've got to make that available when you've got it. Good question there, Durajay. I like it. Or Durjoy, should I say? Durjoy, get it right, George. Have we got another question there? Okay. Oh, LM30. Is it time for Virat to retire from Test cricket? Oh, we're wanting a little bit of controversy there. No, I think Virat Kohli should play out these next 10 Test matches over the next 15 weeks. See how he goes there, but he does have to improve. He has to lift his game. He's got to get that consistency again. If India are going to have a chance of winning the World Test Championship, he at number 4 is crucial. Number 4 is a vital position. It's a position where you can control the game. You can bat through the latter part of the innings, and with the explosive batting that they've got in that middle order, they definitely need Virat to really step up and play his role with the bat, batting through the innings right to the end. If he can do that, then India will be very hard to beat in this World Test Championship. But he's got to start performing, otherwise selectors are going to have to start thinking about whether they go for youth moving forward or they give him more opportunities. But you can only persist with someone out of form for so long. So that is a very good point there, LM30. Thank you very much for that question. Zahid bin Aman. How do you see the strategies of both India and Bangladesh evolving in the current test match in Chennai? What team's approach do you think is better suited to the pitch conditions there? For me, I think Bangladesh have to bat first and make the most of probably the best batting conditions that you're going to get out Chennai, and then hopefully the pitch breaks up early, and you've got to put on a big score, and that's just obvious way to go about it. If you don't bat first, Bangladesh have got to make sure that they don't try and get wickets and chase the game early on. They've got to try and create that pressure and limit India from scoring freely when the conditions are best to bat. So for me, the first session is going to be crucial. If you've got the ball in hand, you've got to make the most of it. You've got to bowl good areas. When the spinners come on, if it's not turning, you've got to have a fairly defensive field and not let India score the easy boundaries or rotate strike. You've got to try and dry up the scoring and make the Indian batsmen play big shots rather than just being able to easily rotate the strike. For me, I think India have got the better balanced team. The reason why I say that is that they've got the good solid batsmen up the top that play conventional Test cricket, and then if they have Sarfaraz Khan and Pant coming in that middle order, they've got that explosiveness to be able to quickly change the momentum of the game, quickly put pressure on the opposition bowlers. But also there's a downside to it as well. With that attacking style, they give wicket taking opportunities. But if you get those too early, then you've got to try and take on Ashwin and Axar Patel if both of them play, because they've got a lot of batting depth, India. So for me, just that explosiveness in the middle order for India is going to be the difference in this Test series. That's I like what you've got there, Zaid. Very, very good. Good observations there. If I had a bigger thing, I'd see what you said. Had on the side there. Awad Agarwal. Hi, sir. My question is, how is black and red soil differ from each other? Well, the red soil creates a little bit of extra pace and a little bit of extra bounce. Black soil generally lower bounce, and but both soils. If you're in India, Mumbai, I like the red soil there because you get a little bit of turn as well as bounce there. Whereas the black soil, you get that lower bounce, but you also can get that turn. But it depends on the curator as well, how much moisture he puts in there, or moisture in the wicket, how much grass is in there, where's the root system, has the root system taken hold as well. That can make a difference as well. But the black soil is a little bit slower, the red soil is a little bit faster and bouncier. That's a good question there, Owen. Very good observation. Have we got one more question, AK? Yep, world. Here we go. Do you think Marsh has been worked, and how will he regain his consistency? That's a very good point. I think Marnus Labuschagne has got a very good record over in Australia, but when he goes away, that's where he loses that consistency. But Marnus Labuschagne, he's still got a long life ahead of him in the cricket world. I think he's still probably got another 4 years out at least. He works hard at his game. For me, I think sometimes he overthinks it, makes too many changes to his technique when he doesn't need to. And as he matures, or as he's getting older, I think he's going to stop tampering with his technique as much as he does. and he'll try and simplify it. And I think we'll see the best of Marnus Labuschagne over the next couple of years. I like the way that he gets across nice and still. He gets in line with the ball. He's just got to make sure that he's not moving as the bowler lets go of the ball as well. And one thing that he probably has to work on is getting better against spin, especially when you're going over the subcontinent. That's what I'd see. I'd like to see him have more options on the scoring front. Good point there, World. I like it. I like it. And have we got one more question? Okay. Oh, Bill Clinton, how you going, Billy boy? Billy won't be happy with what's going on over in America at the moment with the presidential election going on. Probably shouldn't go into politics on this YouTube channel. Well, Bill, where do you think Ben Ducket should bat in one-day international cricket? Here's good numbers versus spin, middle order. For me, Ben Ducket, were they in India or were they in Pakistan? I think it was in India. He should have been batting in that middle order. He's their best player against spin. He can conventionally sweep, reverse sweep. So for me, I think in one-day international cricket, well, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. He's an aggressive one. I like him opening the batting. Yeah, for me, I'd still like him to open the batting in one-day international cricket if they can fit him in there, because he can get you off to a great start. The field's up. He's a small unit, and he can make the use of the new ball there by piercing the infield. And if he gets through those first 10 overs, when spin does come on in those middle overs, he's settled. All of a sudden, he can get into his work there to play the spin with the array of shots that he's got. But if they can't put him in there opening the batting, there's no reason why you wouldn't have him batting 4 or 5, or I'd have him batting 4 for England in that middle order, making sure that the majority of time that he's going to be batting is in that middle order against spin. That is a great observation, Bill Clinton. I like it. There's a couple of options there for England, but for me, he's one of the better players of spin that England have got. And with the other options that they've got a couple of tall batters in there that can use their feet against spin. And then you've got Ben Ducket, who's a little bit smaller. He can sweep against spin. All of a sudden, that combination of a tall batter out one end and a small batter out the other end it really starts to put the bowler off his line of length. So for me, I think you're right there. Ben Ducket probably is a better option in the middle order, as we've talked through that particular scenario. Good question there, Bill Clinton. I like that, and hopefully Ben Ducket isn't batting in the middle order against Australia against Adam Zampa in his 100th game. I don't want to see him dominate Adam Zampa. Uzar Khan, do you think Joe Root will surpass Sachin in tests, or Virat will surpass Joe? I think Joe Root has still got another couple of years left in him in Test cricket. I don't think he'll surpass Sachin in amount of runs. I think Sachin has got too many runs on the board for Joe Root to catch up. But let me get that stat up. That's a good question. That is a good question. Let me get that stat up. While I'm getting that stat up, I just think I love the way that Joe Root goes about it. He's a quality player, and they lost against Bangladesh, and there was a lot of criticism about England not being up for that Test match. But they play a lot of Test match cricket, England, and it's bloody difficult to keep that consistency up day in, day out. And for me, I think, Joe Root, I just think Joe Root's comments in that particular Test series, where he put it similar to a band. A band doesn't perform or doesn't have a hit song every time they put one out or release a song. It's the same with cricket. You're not going to be performing at your peak day in, day out. It is impossible, absolutely impossible. So that was the 5th Test match I think that England played. in the English summer, and they lost it against Sri Lanka. It just happens. So I liked his comments. I liked his maturity, the way that he's able to help the media with his responses. There was good humour in that as well. So Joe Root has 146 Test matches with 12,000 runs. Sachin Tendulkar made nearly 16,000 runs in 200 Test matches. That's 4,000 runs in 66 Tests. I think Joe Root can go close to toppling that. I think it's going to be something to watch. Watch out. Joe Root is on the move to beat Sachin Tendulkar. And I think quietly he'll have that in the back of his mind to try and topple that little unique stat. So watch out for this space. Uza, that's a very good observation. I don't think Virat is going to get there now. I just don't think Virat's going to get there. I think he's lost his momentum, and the momentum that he's lost has been for a number of years now, and he's got to turn it around in the next 10 Test matches, or he's going to drop off, and Joe Root's just going to take it to a new level. Good observation there, Uza. I like it. I like it. Sub Gurbaz. Do you think that Babar Azam tends to score primarily on flat pitches? Fat pitches, come on, Brad. Given that a significant portion of his centuries have come on home soil, how do you assess his performance in different conditions? I totally agree with you, Sahab, there. I've got a lot of respect for Babar Azam. I think he's a quality player. But there are some moments there, especially against Bangladesh, where I saw him getting caught playing away from his body. And when you travel to different conditions, especially when you go to South Africa, England and Australia, you can't afford to be playing away from your body, especially when the ball's moving a little bit more and there's a little bit of extra bounce. So Babar Azam, although he's got a good technique on flat pitches, there is a little bit of a weakness there when he goes offshore from the subcontinent. Very, very good observation there, Sir Hutt. And that's probably one of the reasons why Pakistan haven't dominated as much, is because Babar Azam's reputation or his talent just hasn't matched the results that Pakistan would have liked. So I'm a little bit harsh on Babar Azam there, but he's still got improvement to his game that he needs in order for Pakistan to lift and move forward in the coming years. He's a big part of that. Good question there, Sir. I like it. I like it. Loving it. Well, okay. I think that's all we've got for today. It's been 45 minutes talking to everyone again. It's great to be live on YouTube again, or on social media again. You can see me on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube as well. But it's been great. There's a couple of good matches on today. Sri Lanka versus New Zealand, and Bangladesh taking on India, and then Australia taking on England tonight. And get behind Adam Zampa, please, tonight, playing his 100th one-day international. I love the way that he goes about it, and congratulations to Adam Zampa. But hope everyone enjoys the cricket. Hope Bangladesh put up a good fight against India and give us a good contest that goes into the 5th day. That's what I want to see, and I'm sure the fans out there do too. Thanks, guys. See you soon.